And a lot of guys in the car community will get geeky and really, do stuff like that to see,
Yeah.
how much longer their engine's going to last,
Right.
stuff like that. But guys won't pull blood labs because it costs too much money, right? Like, this is your body. This is your own blood. Like, your blood's
Oh,
like
man.
oil in a car, right? But they
Yeah.
won't spend the money or time on themselves.
If you're 40 years old and you're, regardless of age, if you really invest into your health and you get educated on the subject of health, man, you can improve the quality of your life so much. But just like a regular job or a relationship or owning a car takes time. Right? You need to drive it, maintenance. And the car in the human body analogy is always valid. Treat your body better than your car. People understand
don't.
that no, unfortunately not. You need to clean your car. You need to wax it. You need to make sure you have the proper tires. The engine needs to be sustained. And then people know all about this, but then you ask them about their organ health and they're like, I don't know, how's your blood pressure?
They have these tests for cars. It's called Blackstone Labs, and I've used them before. Great company. And what you do is you send them in a sample of your oil. And then they measure the oil for things like copper, which might come off the piston rings or seals, and various other metals parts per million. And then they send you a lab back and they say, from all of the cars that we've measured the oil on, that's something like the last car I did on it was a BMW M5. And they're like, this is the average. And then this is where you are. So you kind of have an idea based on the mileage, how much wear and tear is happening on the engine. And a lot of guys in the car community will get geeky and really, do stuff like that to see, how much longer their engine's going to last, stuff like that. But guys won't pull blood labs because it costs too much money, right? Like, this is your body. This is your own blood. Like, your blood's like oil in a car, right? But they won't spend the money or time on themselves.
Unbelievable, right? And it's the same people that really love their pets. They give their pets like raw food. They cook food for their pets. They really treat them like kings. And then they
I've seen ads for NMN for your pets, like pet chewables
now.
Wow. Yeah, showing up in my feed and social media.
Oh, that's crazy. So I hope that, like, in the end, this is all you have, right? This body is all you have.
Yeah.
And if you treat it really well, it lasts, and it gives you such insane return of investment. Like the ROI that you get out of spending all the time in the gym and cooking and IV bags, etc. The ROI that you get out of that is insane, because I don't have any of the issues that most 40-year-olds face. I don't have the libido issues. I don't have the acne issues. No hair loss. It's just self-induced, right? I mean, it's just more convenient. And so all these Gen Pop 40-year-old or 50-year-olds that I hear talk about their issues, I have none of it because I invested such a long time. And I would recommend everybody to do the same, And if you're not financially secure, instead of spending money on cheap thrills, going drinking and that kind of stuff, spend it on yourself, man, on your body. Level that up first. And then you'll see that everything in life will be 10 times easier.
We got a little sidetracked there, but you were talking about a lot of the drugs and the prescriptions and supplements that you take. So again, like the baselines for everything.
So the baseline from on TRT, personally, I prefer TRT around, 200, 250 milligrams per milliliter. It's a little bit higher than general TRT, but that's like the lowest I can get away with to sustain my size, because keep in mind, I used to be 260 pounds. Now I'm about 230. So, give or
230 is a lot of muscle. How tall are you?
5'9", so that's 175 centimeters.
Yeah, that's a lot of muscle for your frame. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't really see it on camera, but every time I go to an event, people are shocked.
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, I saw the pictures on your Instagram. You're a big dude, like you're a tank.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't translate well to camera, but in real life, if you meet me, I'm bigger than most guys. So that basically you try to take the lowest dose of testosterone you can get away with, still having a good workout, good libido, good overall quality of life. Whether it's 150, 250, it's up to the audience, right? Personally, I like a beta blocker, nebivolol, over any other blood pressure medication. So I would run telmisartan, for example, on a cycle. If I increase my testosterone to 500 and I throw some Primo on top, yes, I would run an ARB, angiotensin receptor blocker. But now that I'm
brings down your blood pressure.
Yeah, so the telmisartan does bring down your blood pressure, and then nebivolol also does the same thing, because it blocks and activates certain receptors. So it brings your heart rate down, and it also relaxes the vasculature in your blood vessels, right? So that relaxes it, and your blood pressure goes down. So you have, with one drug, you have two positive effects. Heart rate goes down, so now you're more leveled, more composed, which I found is very beneficial for entrepreneurship, right? To make better decisions, just to keep your heart rate down, low stress, right? Low sympathetic nervous system drive.
Mm-hmm.
And then the blood pressure management is just good. But I already take, my electrolyte balance is perfectly managed. I do my daily fasted cardio. I don't eat garbage, right? So I manage my blood pressure that way. And then the Bivolo is just an extra on top. And then now mostly is everything about anti-aging, because I'm getting older, and the oxidative stress I want to keep as low as possible. So I do my injectable glutathione, 1,800 milligrams once a week. And then I do take 500 milligrams nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, NAD+. Man, what a game changer that is.
NAD+?
Yeah.
And
so
and that's via IV, or?
Yeah, that's IV.
I heard with NAD, it's a very long IV drip because it's got to go slow. Like my guy was telling me, most places will basically have you there for like a few hours. They plug you in, you take a nap, or sometimes people even do it like overnight.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true for you?
I don't have the time for that because I'm always working. So I just do the free flow, and I get 500 milliliters in 30 minutes, and it's not comfortable. It's like basically when you go to a roller coaster, you get that way up, and then as soon as, right before you start diving, you get a little bit of anxiety and that weird feeling in your stomach, like, oh, here we're going to go. So you feel like that, especially combining NAD+ with glutathione. It's so much antioxidants that you literally feel like, you're sinking right before the roller coaster. So you feel a little bit awkward for 30 minutes. Now, is that the best way to absorb all of that? Probably not. But I don't have the time to sit there for 8 hours to do the slow drip. So, and I found that's very beneficial to do once a week, because I also take NMN, the nicotinamide mononucleotide, about 150 milligrams a couple times a day. And man, the energy production and the overall well-being I get from that cocktail alone, it beats any steroid cycle that I've ever done. And it beats growth hormone, which was kind of like a false promise of anti-aging. Growth hormone offers some anti-aging benefits topically. Your nails grow faster, your skin looks better, your hair grows faster. But in reality, it kind of ages you faster because it raises IGF-1 levels, which otherwise you have to mitigate with metformin. So you take one drug to combat the negative effects of another drug, and before you know it, you have 5 drugs in the picture. So I believe that NAD+ and NMN, man, it's such a game changer. And if you can do it, if you can afford it, I could recommend that to anybody. I'm currently working on a semi-anti-aging mitochondrial support stack that I'm going to record this week. And that's, for the guys that want to move over to my channel, give that video a watch. It should be up sometime this week. I think that's going to be a huge game changer. I've been working on that for 9 months on that protocol, doing all kinds of weird, putting particular drugs and supplements in, removing them, seeing which one is beneficial, which one would like to have, which one is, a nice addition, but probably not worth the cost. So it will be a 30-minute video long. But for the guys that can follow through that, I think it's going to be a game changer regarding your overall energy levels and your productivity and just your overall masculinity. Man, I feel so good for the last year after.
Do you take resveratrol also?
No.
You don't see any benefit to it?
From this protocol alone, no. Because it's expensive enough as it is, and it really makes you question all these other things that you can try. Like NR, nicotinamide riboside, which is a precursor to NMN. I've tried that, but I found that NMN works better. And then you have to look at the cost and benefits and all the scientific evidence. And then even though both compounds have enough scientific evidence to support it, and enough YouTubers with podcasts to say, oh, this one is better, this one is better, I just go with the one that worked best for me. But I will recommend NR to people who might potentially get a better result from that. So resveratrol, I've tried for maybe a year or two in duration, didn't make a dent, didn't make a difference. I've tried krill oil for maybe 2 years, didn't make a difference. But you take the krill oil and the fish oil out, okay, that you notice. So it's, some of these experiments, it take a very long time, But once they are released, I think they're quite game changers. And then I put everything in one video to make people understand. Some people might need to watch it twice because it's quite in depth sometimes. But I think, So that's the most prominent thing that I've been using for the last couple of months. That is something I will continue even after coming off cycle. But I think you just have to, like, if you really want to take care of your health, you kind of have to design it for your own, because there's so many ways to skin the cat.
What about supplements, like vitamins and minerals and aminos and stuff like that? Is that part of your regular?
Yeah, so I supplement quite heavily, but it's only on top of the nutrition that I get from my food. So first I write my diet. I eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner, some middle meals, right? So 5 meals per day, a post-workout shake. I see which nutrients I already get, and then I supplement on top of that. So I supplement with vitamin D3 because, well, I'm sitting inside all the time and I don't have time to get sunlight, which I should, but, a supplement is faster. I supplement heavily with magnesium, up to 2,000 milligrams per day, on top of the magnesium that I get from my diet.
Which variant do you use?
Glycinate, bisglycinate.
Bisglycinate?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I found that very beneficial because it helps with muscular contractions.
Right?
And then calcium and magnesium kind of help alternate the muscular contractions to simplify it. But magnesium I get enough, or calcium I get enough from my diet.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty easy to get calcium.
Yeah, it's in most meat sources, a little bit of dairy. Oatmeal is quite high in calcium. Some of the supplements contain calcium as well. So you get free calcium that way. A little bit of selenium, a little bit of zinc, all these just little amounts that most normal people or people who are not training that excessively will never notice. But I notice it. Right? So it's just like full biohacking, full micromanagement of the supplements that I take. But I think as I come down, I'm going to filter all of these supplements and PEDs through fertility. And if I found some scientific evidence that is, negative on your fertility levels, okay, then that supplement or PED goes. So I'll probably be left with nothing by the end of it. And then I'll have, steak and eggs and some vegetables left. And then I'm carnivore too.
Have you ever done like a sensitivity test? I did one of the labs I added through was basically like a test where they run your blood up against certain allergens, common ones, right? And I mean, things that popped up near the top for me were kind of surprising, like eggs, dairy, mostly eggs, dairy, maybe a couple of nuts. Meats are very good with my body. Some, some forms of grains. And I found that when I just took like eggs and dairy out of my diet, for the most part, the farting stopped, right? Like, it was really interesting to see that your body actually, reacts to certain foods in such a way that it can like throw off your entire digestive sort of system. Have you ever done anything like that?
So I've done an elimination diet and a check, right, where you check your blood and your skin for food allergies. I've done that maybe 5-6 years ago when I was really struggling with digestive issues, and I still have that list of foods I can eat and how often I can eat them through the results of that test. Yeah, it's different for everybody. So I know exactly based on those results from that test what I can eat or how often I can eat it, and my own elimination diet, which I found out about a lot of spices, for example, that I can't have. So I've done this very extensively a couple of years back, and my digestion improved so much.
Yeah.
But
bloating also comes down too, I noticed as well.
Yeah, zero bloating, zero farts. Whereas before I would just eat what I wanted or thought was healthy, right? Certain vegetables you think, oh, veggies, so this is very healthy. And you still fart up a storm at the end of the day. So now I mostly follow a FODMAP diet.
What's a good alternative to eggs if you get a sensitivity issue to it? Because I mean, you want eggs for the cholesterol, right? And the other nutrients like
healthy fats, biotin, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what's a good substitute for eggs for a guy like me?
So there's many different kinds of eggs. You don't only have to go with chicken eggs. I know a lot of people are going to slam me, but duck eggs or quartz eggs, a very small one. All right. That's an alternative that you can look into. Now, personally, I don't like to eat those eggs because either the one is small and the duck eggs are not very tasty.
Yeah, I don't like duck eggs. I've tried them before.
Yeah. Yeah, just bring up Michael Hearn stuff. I'm sure a lot of people catch on to the $700 duck eggs.
Myco Trend.
Yeah, Myco Trend. Yeah,